All right, I just have a quick tip for you guys today. I may or may not have been up till the wee hours of the morning picking something out, which is fine. It happens to all of us, but geez, So I've had people ask me, what do you do with how do you get the fabric looking fresh again? Because, it's got all the points and all the pricks where the needle went through, and you can see where the previous design was laid down. So, let me show. All right, so this is the quilt I'm working on. Hopefully you can see all of the points where the needle went through before are still there in the fabric, because fabric does have a memory. So what we are going to do, you will probably hear people say, oh, all you have to do is just scratch it out with your fingernail. And yeah, you can do that. Still get rid of the little holes, but it does that by distorting the weave. Okay, and when you do that, you also have a chance of kind of fluffing it up and making it look like a pilly old sweater, if that makes sense. The fibers start kind of coming up a little bit themselves. So yeah, you're going to get rid of the holes, but it's not going to look fresh anymore. So this is what I do. I love Best Press. That's what I like to use for my piecing. And since I have it on hand, that's also what I use for this instance. I use a spray misting bottle. I love these. They're my favorite. You can get them at our website, acraftedcottage.com. I might need to fill this up. Hopefully it doesn't mess up my video because it's getting low, but you can see all the bubbles. But anyway, these are great. It evenly distributes the spray for you. So what I'm going to do, I just like to spray it and I saturate it. Okay. I don't know if you can see hopefully, if you can see how wet I'm actually getting that. Okay. Can you see that? It is wet. Can you see the shine from the light? So you completely saturate it. Don't do this if you don't know if it's quilt shop fabric. This I happen to know is a very good quality of fabric. I also happen to know, I will suggest don't do it on reds or purples either, even if it's quilt shop quality. Those have a tendency to bleed. But I know that this quilt is the perfect candidate for this technique. So you're going to spray it. You are going to then take a blow dryer. Oh, right here. And you're going to turn it on high, and you're just going to blow dry it dry. And as you're doing that, so what it does is when the spray or the Best Press kind of gets sucked up into the fibers and they start expanding, and then as you dry it, it just kind of starts taking back its old natural shape. I'm not going to dry it right now on the phone with you guys because it's loud and you don't need to watch. I will say, feel free if you've got like a flat tip on your blow dryer like this to just kind of like run it a little bit on across the top of the quilt, but not a lot, because like I said, you don't want to get any pilling or anything starting. And again, I don't like to do it with my hands because same reason. And also we have oils on our fingers, ladies. So obviously it goes without saying we only touch people's quilts when we have to, okay? And with clean hands. Another thing that you can do is spray the back of the fabric, back here where it's rolled up on the quilt. Because here, yes, of course you don't want to excessively touch it with your fingers again, but it's safer to touch and to scratch a little bit, very, very, very softly at the back of the quilt, not on the front of it. So that's another thing that you can do if you're like really having a hard time getting those little pokey holes out. And yeah, hopefully that's helpful. But yeah, so you'll go ahead and dry that out, and really it's just going to shrink those little holes right up. And if you have to go back and do it again, that's fine. If you do it a couple times. So that is my tip for the day. Hopefully it's helpful to somebody. And hopefully you don't have to use it that often.